There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello BookTube, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a quick and dirty on-haul video. I am not looking my best. I've had a long day, I'm exhausted, and I've got hay fever coming out my eyes. I'm going to poke my eyes out, they're so itchy, so not looking my best, not feeling my best, but let's get this video done because this is a record of another batch of books that I am unhauling. I have to shrink my library by hopefully at least half because I can't afford to ship all 1,000 plus volumes to Canada when I move at the end of May. So I'm getting rid of as many books as my criteria is if it's a book that I've had on my shelf for years and never gotten to, if it's a book that I've changed my mind about reading, if it's a book that I didn't absolutely love, and if it's a book that I still might want to read but could easily replace, get a replacement copy in Canada or an ebook or something, it's gone. So with that as the criteria, here is this batch. The Skin We're In by Desmond Cole. He is a black Canadian activist, and this is an anti-racism memoir. Never did read it. Bought it. It was at the bookstore in Tokyo. I could easily get it from the library or something in Canada. Never did read it. This is a gay Chinese novel that I did read. Mu Cao's In the Face of Death We Are Equal. And I didn't really like it. I read it for something Pride Month last year or something. Didn't really care for it. So it's translated. I can't list the translator in the show notes because he found me mentioning a book of his that he translated before and he was quite offended because I didn't like that book either. But it's Scott E. Myers. Anyway, beautiful cover. It's one of those beautiful seagull books. It's going to a good home. This is an African novel, The Cost of Sugar, by Cynthia MacLeod, who is a black African writer from Suriname. Roz of Scallydandling About the Books did one of her Scallydandles about this book, and I bought it because it sounded really interesting, and then after I told her I got it, she said, oh, I don't really think it's the Sean book. I didn't read it, but I'm going to get rid of it based on that. The Comforters by Muriel Spark. I remember loving it as an undergrad. Did a buddy read with Adam and a bunch of people years ago, and just hated it. It's gone. I bought this hardcover from Europa, Freshwater for Flowers by Valerie Perrin, translated from the French by Hildegard Searle, and then every review I saw was that it was absolutely awful, including Lindy, so I'm not going to bother trying it. And it's a big book to pay to ship across the pond when apparently it's not very good, so it's gone. 13 Ways of Looking at a Novel by Jane Smiley. It's essays. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of, well, apparently half of it is literary criticism just in general about the novel, and then the other half is commentaries on specific novels. I don't need to keep it. The Sentimentalist by Joanna Skibsrud, a Canadian writer about a Vietnam vet or something. Never did read it. It's gone. I featured this in so many goddamn videos and I still haven't read it. It's gone. I paid about $20 to get a used copy. Sandbars by Una McPhee. I've like done page 112 tests and stuff. Nothing ever caused me to read it, so time's up. This is a lovely box set of a triptych of novellas called Sermons and Soda Water by John O'Hara. The box itself is a little bumped up, but the books inside are in pristine condition. I read the first chapter of the first novella to Lindy during her concussion recovery, the reading project we did that was so wonderful, and both of us were underwhelmed by the opening chapter of the first novella, so it's gone. This is the second novel by Cynthia Sweeney, Good Company. I quite enjoyed her debut. The Nest. Quite like The Nest. It was a bit of a Marmite book, but quite liked it. And then I bought this because of that as a new release in 2020. And I've heard nothing but shitty reviews. Goodbye! Alistair McLeod, a maritime Canadian short story writer and novelist. This is As Birds Bring Forth the Sun and Other Stories, and it was completely underwhelming. Goodbye. Salman Rushdie's Midnight's Children. Who's got time for this crap? 19th century, I believe, or early 20th century novel from Denmark, Marie Grubbe. by Jens Peter Jakobsen, translated by Hannah Astrup Larson. I've had it for about 5 years or something, never read it. Korean-American novelist Chang-rae Lee. Aloft, wanted to get to it, didn't, can't justify filling a box with it when I'm not all that motivated to try it. This is a humongous biography of Mary Queen of Scots. My Heart is My Own by John Guy, or Guy, probably Guy. I've had it for years, never read it. I can get it on ebook or whatever, bought it from the library. I got this really cheap. It's a beat up old copy of a novella by Yasunari Kawabata. I hated his most famous novel, the one that everybody loves. What was it, Snow Country or something? And I bought this and I didn't read it, and it's probably crap too. This was a gift, and the person who gave it to me might be watching, so I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I didn't try it. Andrei Alexei I think he's a Ottawa novelist, and this is part of a series, but it's not the first one, and so it has to go. Canadian humorist and novelist, apparently he's a novelist. This was a Christmas gift from my mum. Shoe on the Roof. It didn't ever grab me, the synopsis of it, so nice cover, nice glittery cover, but nope. This one is a fairly popular nonfiction book about somebody who collects netsuke, is it? The Japanese art, pottery or something. The Hare with Amber Eyes by Edmund Dewall. This is a historical novel about the inventor of the theremin, which is some electronic musical instrument by Shawn Michaels. Us Conductors. No. Future Popes of Ireland, a gay novel from Ireland that I never got around to trying by Darren Martin. Can't justify the amount of space it would take up in a box to send it halfway across the globe and then still never read it, so bye. One of the most underwhelming reads of 2021 for me, The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. I didn't hate it. There were parts of it that were beautiful, but I don't need to keep it. Andrew Winchester told me I would love this Australian novel, The Life to Come. I'm looking in the wrong place. The Life to Come by Michelle de Kretzer, and I didn't like it. Gorgeous cover. I'm interested in Haiti, but this guy's not Haitian. Peacekeeping. It's about peacekeepers in Haiti by Mischa Berlinski. I've never heard one darn good thing about it, except that it has a rather interesting cover. Delicious Foods by James Hannaham, African-American writer. I've put this on as a tentative for 3 Black History Month TBRs in a row. Never got to it. Bye! And Everybody and Their Dog had an opinion on The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and I weighed all the opinions carefully, refracting them through my peculiar sensitivities, and decided I don't need to read this. Did I say the title? The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett? I quite liked her debut. And exactly the same reason why I'm getting rid of Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I've heard so many reviews about it that I absolutely do not need to read this. Or I could get another copy later. So that is my second Unhaul video. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.